Good morning, one and all. Hope you are able to hear me.
Yeah, Naveen.
Yes.
Good morning.
Sorry. Any questions before we proceed from yesterday's session? Yes, no.
No, no.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. We'll proceed. So first of all, write down, put a heading as in define countries in my SAP system. Define countries in my SAP systems. So we have already mentioned it as in general settings. Okay. Under that, step number 1, define countries in my SAP systems. Define countries in my SAP systems. Write down the path. Write down the path. SPRO. Path. SPRO. SAP NetWeaver. SAP NetWeaver. General settings. General settings. Okay. Set countries. Set countries. Define countries in my SAP systems. Define countries in my SAP systems. So write down once again path. I'll show you with the practical. SPRO. Now we are into end user screen. We need to go to consultant screen. So SPRO. Okay. And after this, we are into SAP reference IMG. SAP reference IMG. Okay. SAP reference IMG. Right. Already we discussed about the screen yesterday. SAP NetWeaver. SAP NetWeaver. SAP NetWeaver. So click on general settings. Click on general settings. Click on general settings. Set countries. Set countries. Set countries. Define countries in my SAP systems. Define countries in my SAP systems. Define countries in my SAP system. You know, right, how to activate transaction codes. Define countries in my SAP systems. Transaction code Y01N. Transaction code Y01N. Or you can write it as an OY01. Either of this we can go it. You can write it as an, or else just put a standard one only. OY01. OY01. So here next, write down, click on IMG activity button. Click on IMG activity button. So already all the countries, see, you can see here 237 countries across the globe we have already there in SAP. All the 237 countries are there in SAP standard. Okay. If any country is, after you have taken the license, clear, any country is created or came into the this one, then we can create it as a new countries, new entries. But already we have. So click on position button, right down, click on position button, click on position button. So click on position button, Q, give country IN, give country IN, okay, give country IN, give country. So it will display whatever country you want. You need to click on position button and we need to give the country. So select IN, select country IN, and here we have three options here, four options here. One is display, okay. One is to see the details, to create it, and to copy it, okay. So these four are important. One is to display, only we can't edit it. So same thing, display, and it will show in detail. Details in the sense every total whatever there in inner, everything it will show in display button. New entries, if you want to create anything new, then it will show it as a new. And if you want to copy and you want to create one more country, right, then you can click on new entries. Sorry, you can select it, copy as button. I'll show you how copy will work here. So how many countries are available in SAP? So total 237 countries. Select country IN and press details button. So this is a screen. So these all are standard settings. So what are the things we need to check in the sense? These are SAP standard settings. So first step, what we need to check, assign hard currency USD. Write it down. So this should be USD. This should be USD. Okay. Why? Because any group reporting, if you want to send, it should be in hard currency, global reporting, whatever we call. This should be in USD, whatever may be your currency, local currency, but your group reporting will be always performed in USD. So it should be okay. Write down, assign hard currency USD, assign hard currency USD, USD. In procedure column, something is there, somebody has changed it. Press F4. In procedure column, write down, press F4. So see, in real time it will be blank. In real time it will be blank, because SAP standard doesn't know for which client you are doing, for which country you are doing it. This will be there, the standard hard currency will be there, okay. But these all fields in the sense, at least the procedure part, the procedure part will be blank, and your country currency will be blank, okay. Your exchange rate type will be blank, right, in standard SAP, right, because these are country specific. So SAP standard doesn't know your client belongs to which country. So as a consultant, we need to do this, right? So here country currency, we already, because in the previous batches we did it. So we are taking our local company as a country, corporate currency as an INR. So here procedure, right? So here procedure, we don't want to follow this SINTP, okay. Press F4. So tax INN, Indian currency, tax INN. So tax INN, just let me check tax INN. Tax INN. So you can use tax INN, or if you are using your company is in tax US, you can use this as in tax US. So here I'll go with tax INN. Selected tax INN. In some systems, some servers, you won't find this country currency and all those stuff initial. So you will find only this one, okay. Trade state short name, okay, and your tax procedure, that's it. You won't find these three steps, these three, or these two at least. These two you won't find, country currency, exchange rate types, because we have a separate configuration for this. I'll show you that. In my server, it is showing, but probably majority servers, it may not show. Next one. Right now, date format.
Naveen,
Yes.
is like in the description part, it is also saying SCINTP. So that is also for Indian. So
Sorry,
why
I
are you
didn't
using
get.
tax INN?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
In the tax column, the procedure column,
Uh-huh.
earlier it was SCINTP, right?
Correct. Correct.
So
So
why we are not using that? Because that's
see,
also an
that is
Indian tax
related to
procedure, right?
probably they have created their own tax procedure. See, this is a training server, right? Understood.
Mhm.
So people will create their own tax procedures. Even they don't follow the standard
Okay.
SAP which is provided. So, but what is our corporate company? Corporate company is in India, right? So whatever SAP provided Indian tax currency, you can see we have two types of taxes, tax IN and tax INN. So here tax IN is nothing but in India, we have a what we call VAT system, the old system, right? And we have a GST system. So if you take tax IN, I'll show you that. So see tax IN, tax procedure, tax IN is old tax procedure. Okay, so these are tax IN2, tax INA, these are user created one. Clear? In real time, you won't find this. Hope you got my point. You will find tax IN.
Real time we'll have,
Sorry?
so in real time we'll have one each for each country, right? Here, right?
No, it will be blank. That's what I'm saying. The
We have to
procedure
create
will
it.
be blank in real time.
No. What I mean is when you select the procedure column, you
Mhm.
press F4, right?
Mhm.
So even in real time, we'll get all these options over there.
Correct, correct. All these up, which is provided, which is standard. What are the standard tax procedure which SAP has created? That will be there. Not all like user defined. Like here you can see
So
tax
over there, it
Australia.
will be tax INN only, right?
Sorry. If your client is tax Indian client,
Over there.
their corporate office is India, then we
Mhm.
need to select this is Indian new tax procedure. That is nothing but GST,
Okay, fine.
right? And
Okay,
remaining
okay.
most of the
So
things they are
there
not.
we will not be having SCINTP,
No, no,
right?
no, no. It will be blank.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So tax
no,
IN.
you're not getting my point. So in when we are selecting F4, we are getting the whole the list of the taxes, right?
Correct.
So here we also have SCINTP. So in
Here
real
in
time, we
this
will not
particular,
have SCINTP because I think it's not the real one.
see what I'm saying is this is see here this is this whatever F4 we are pressing, we are selecting it. It will be there whatever user defined tax procedures also, because it's a training environment. But in real time, you won't find whatever was there in default here. Whatever standard SAP provided, only that will be get listed here.
Okay.
Got my point?
And we will have only one tax code for each country, not like many, because these are created by user IDs, right?
Correct. If at all any changes are there, see here as what I'm saying is in India, we had earlier before 2015, we had VAT procedure. So that's the reason SAP has given tax IN. That was an older version. And the remaining, whatever you are able to see here, that are see here, tax procedure for Maruti, sales tax in India, right? IN, Indian tax aqua. So only two things will be there in the standard, that is tax IN and tax INN in real time. These things will not be there in the standard procedure.
So
Understood?
just a question, because now, sorry to interrupt, like
No problem.
people have created their people have created their specific or customized tax procedures. But
Correct.
in actual world, when the real world, we will have each country assigned each tax code, which we have to select. For example, for Canada, whatever the code is. Why people are practicing and creating their user tax code
That's
still?
what,
Just
see
just a
here the
question.
why people wants is they want to see how the new entries system is going to work, which is not
Okay.
important to create actually. So they want to create the procedure with the new entries. They want to use this functionality. So that's the reason. So for example, they don't want to combine their tax procedure. They follow the same copy. They will do the copy and they will create. They don't want to get confused with tax INN with their Maruti, whatever they created. They want to assign this. But in real time, we won't change it. Again, that's what I'm saying. Why? In the sense, people wants to do that. That's the reason yesterday I told you, right? You will get some sort of errors because it's a training environment. People will change a lot of things in training environment. So, but what my request is, in real time, you won't find all these kind of things. If you take tax India, then you will find tax IN and tax IN, and that's it. You can see tax US, that's it. So here they will also do a lot of changes in that.
Got it, sir. Thanks.
Naveen, but real time, if there is any change in tax system, so SAP only will provide that updates,
Exactly.
right?
We won't do manually,
Okay.
right? They will do all the configuration and they will release the sprint.
Okay. Okay.
Hope you got my point, right? So we need not to worry about it, but we need to see what is the new procedure. That one we need to assign here. That's it. We need not to create here anything. Fine, everyone?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
no?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So next one, we have a lot of, see here, we have a different date formats here. Okay, DDMM, YYMM, DDYYMM, DDYY, right? So Japanese, most of the Japanese calendar, Islamic dates. Okay, so we are following our corporate companies in India. So we are selecting DDMM, YY format. So again, it will be blank in the initial level. So we need to select, see, it will be like this. It will be like this. Okay. So here in the real time, it will be because your client may be US client or your client is using MMDDYY format, right? Your client may be a Japan client. Then you need to select across the globe. Only these formats will be followed. Only these formats will be followed across the globe. So according to your client requirement, we need to select this. Okay. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so how do you select the exchange rate type? How do you make sure
That
what
we
you're
will
doing
see
on
later.
that?
That's what I said, right? In real time, you won't find this
Okay.
particular fields in country settings. Okay, these are my server
Okay.
settings. That's the reason it is appearing. Probably in your screen also, it won't appear. Only the what are the things it will appear in the sense. If it is a EU country, you need to select it. A trade state short name, Indian, right? Whatever country you are having. Procedure, that will be there. ISO code automatically, if you press enter, automatically these things will be taken. Hard currency, we need to update. That's it. You need not to bother about country currency and exchange rate types. This will not appear in real time. That's what I want to say. Exchange rate, we have a topic, complete topic on country currencies and exchange rate, separate topics. Because already somebody has, this is a training version. Again, I'm reiterating, it's a training version. Okay, so already we have already created currencies, we have already created exchange rate types. So that is the reason it is coming. We don't know what is M, we don't know what is P, right? There are several exchange rate values will be there. Clear? So that exchange rate values M, P, whatever it is there, right? G, I, right? B. So I'll explain each and everything. So here in real time, we want to give at this particular screen the country currencies and exchange rate types. And you want to find these fields also. Hope you got my point. I'll explain
Yes,
these.
sir. Sir, I have a sorry.
Please go ahead.
I have a question, sir. Last time when you were mentioning that hard currency will always be USD.
Correct.
For example, when we have one company in India, the main company is in India, and we have one branch in India, another branch is in US. So the hard currency will, because overall the majority of the transaction looks, in global wise, we look into USD, right?
Correct.
Is it correct?
Correct. Because
Okay. Now,
everything
when I was trying,
see, our market is a local market. Our business is in only in India. Only in India, we are doing only transactions in India only. We are not doing any global transactions. Then probably your hard currency will also be IND. INR. Okay,
Correct.
but you are doing exports, imports, and everything from across the globe. Then we need to measure your transaction in one base currency. Correct. So due to that, we are supposed to see across the globe what is the currency, standard currency. Every transactions will be measured in USD only, right? At gold and your foreign exchange will be calculated, even though USD is not the number one currency across the globe, but the standards are set as a global businesses that the standard currency is USD. Any exchange rate value will be compared with USD only. So all the group reporting will be generated in USD only. Right, your IFRS reports will be generated in US, not IFRS. Any other international GAAP reports will be generated in USD only. Got my point? If it is across the globe, if the group currency is nothing but your standard currency is Australian dollar, then we will select that particular. If your currency is total standard currency is Canadian dollar, then we will say CAD. But
That
as
was
of
my
now, the
question, sir,
international
because when I
market
was
measures everything in USD.
correct.
Yeah.
That was my question when I was trying to create another company in Canada. So the hard currency we will
Will
be
be USD only.
choosing as US
Exactly.
still. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever may be the country, if your company is in Europe, but your hard currency would be USD only.
Okay. So it will by default we should always keep it as USD.
USD
Correct?
only.
Is it?
Until
Okay.
you're like globally, if the standard currency got changed, till that we need to follow.
Makes sense. Thank you, sir.
Okay, next one. Date format. Okay, and after that we need to decimal format as we discussed yesterday. So the same thing you can see here. We follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dot 8, 9. If it is there as it is, don't change it. Okay. And here the most important thing is we have done some changes, right? So we have changed the tax procedure. Okay, so whenever we done some changes, okay, then if we click on this is the button, we click on save button. So normally, for example, in your Windows, for example, you have created one Word document or Excel file or anything. Okay, you have not given initial name. Okay, so you have created your resume in Word document. You have created one separate your business profile in Word document, separate Word document, and you have prepared some other information. Okay, other information in Word document, and you have created your pay slips. Not created, you got your pay slips or whatever it is, right? Your turnover, business turnover, and everything. So what you will do, whenever you will save, what it will ask? You are creating a document in Word document. So if you try to save it, and you have just clicked on new and opened a document and you have started working on it and you have completed it, and you have clicked on save button, what it will ask? What it will ask?
It will ask for the save as name.
Correct, name, right? Save as name. And which location you want to save it, right? On your desktop or where you want
Yes.
to save this, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So we will give the details where it need to be saved and what is the document name. Next one, we have created a folder like this. SAP FICO S4 HANA 2022. This is called a folder. Under that, we will have a documentations and files. So next one, I have created my company profile in Word document. So what I'll do? Again, I need to save. Again, it will ask the same thing. And again, that I need to save in this particular folder only. What is the need to create a folder? I can have everything on my desktop like this. My resume, my document, my company profiles, and everything like this I can have separately, right? Why I need a folder? Why I need a folder? For example,
Looks
there are 20
organized.
documents are there.
It's not going to be scattered all over the place then.
See, for example, you got selected for, you have attended one interview and you got selected and your HR was asking you to send your resume. The HR was asking you to send a 3 months or 6 months bank statement, 3 months pay slips, right? Your whatever address proof, right? Your passport says photograph and everything. So here you have scattered everywhere. So will you send it separately, or we can send everything I have stored in this particular folder? Whatever HR is asking. So is it possible to check in one folder, or if it is scattered, is it possible to check easily in that to send? If everything is one folder, everything is in one folder, then I can send the entire folder to HR, because only the relevant documents are there in this particular folder. Yes or no? Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yes.
Kindly respond, please. Okay, the thing is, so here now we have done one particular step. This is one particular step, and we have done the changes here. So in Word document also, if you open a document, you didn't do any changes, and if you save it, then it will not ask for save or something else. But if you have done some changes, correct, and if you try to save it, then it will ask for save, correct, then we will say yes. But here also we have done some changes. Procedure, we have done the changes. Earlier something it was different. Now we have changed to tax INN. Then it will ask whenever we click on save button. Whenever we click on save button, this is called a transport request. In SAP, we will call this as a transport request. What does it mean in the sense? What this is like a folder in Word, in MS environment, Windows environment, we call it as a folder, and here we will call it as a transport request. TR request means whatever configuration steps we are going to create, that will be stored under this particular environment, the request environment. Why? What is the need? Because we will do all the configuration steps in development server. Okay, and the same thing again, I'm reiterating. If I save different steps in different transport request, right? So the transport request, whatever developmental activity we have done, okay, we are storing in this particular request, for example, then we need to move that settings to next from development server to quality server, right? If everything is stored in one request, and if we note it down, that request number, right, we can give it to basis consultant that this request number, we have all the configuration of Adani group. Then what basis consultant will do is, basis consultant will move this transport request easily from development server to quality server. And you are storing in different transport request steps. You have done 1000 configuration steps, and you have created in 100 transport requests. And what you have done is you have given 99 transport requests to basis consultant. Basis consultant won't bother whether you give 100 or 200, they will move it. Their job is moved. Okay, but unfortunately you missed to move one transport request and you forgot that number. So you have given 99 requests to a basis consultant. Basis consultant job is to move the transport request from one server to another server. Okay, means settings will be moved from one server to another server. So he has moved all the 99. So when you have started testing in quality server, some functionalities are missing. Why? Because you have saved the settings in 100 different transport requests, but you have moved only 99 transport requests. Clear? So because all the settings are not moved, if one setting is missed, also the functionalities is not going to work 100%. So that is the reason always in real time what we will do is we will try to save we will save all the settings in one transport request. Transport request is nothing but your folder. We have a once we're done with the FI part, we have a complete 4-hour sessions on transport request, how it will be created in the background, how it will be moved from one server to another server within the server. Okay, so total 4 to 5 hour sessions we will have transport request, how many types of transport request and all, right? But meanwhile, remember that transport request is nothing but a folder, right, where we will do all whatever settings we will do, we will save all the settings in this particular environment, in this transport request. Is this clear? So here, so this is already some folder it is showing. Request is nothing but folder. This is not relevant to ours. This is not relevant to us. Okay. So click on. So understood, right? So here, this is a
Yes,
table
sir.
name. I'll explain that also. Okay. So click on create. We need to create our own folder, right? Our own request. Click on create. Click on create request button. So here it will ask transport short. If you give short description, automatically the number will be taken. We won't give the transport request number, right? For example, you can see here, this transport request number we want to give, automatically system will generate. Okay. So the number will be automatically generated. We won't give. SAP standard will generate this number. Only we need to give the transport request. So what I'll do, which module we are doing, I'll mention here standard FICO underscore CD client dependent settings, because we have a number of clients. Okay, we have two things here, client dependent settings, client independent settings, right? So here, whatever settings we are going to do, these settings are related to only this particular client, because in development server, as I mentioned, we have a number of clients. For example, 100 clients, 110 client, 120 client, 130 client. So whatever settings we are doing here, whatever configuration we are doing, that is restricted to only 100 client. For example, 110 client. So here, that is the reason we are mentioning FICO. This is the module, right? And we need not to bother about the naming convention. That will be given in the real time, your project lead. The naming convention will be given by your project lead. According to that, you need to mention here. Okay. Okay. Any questions here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what's the difference between client dependent and client independent?
See, client dependent in the sense, whatever settings I am doing, whatever configurations I am doing, right? So that is nothing but client dependent settings, and in that client only it will work. Client independent setting is whatever there are some workbench, we'll call it as a workbench request. Workbench request and client independent settings, both are same. Workbench request, that's the reason I said we will have 5-hour session on this particular thing. So we have two types of request. One is client dependent settings and client independent. Client independent, also known as a workbench request. So if we are doing client dependent setting, in the sense, only this configuration, whatever we are doing, that is applicable, will work in that particular client only. And we have few settings. Okay, if we are saving that, those are called client independent settings. See, in the same development server, we have 100 client, 110 client, 120 client, and 130 client. So whatever client independent setting, that will work in 100 client, 110 client, 120 client, and 130 client. That is called client independent settings. So that will be carried to 100 client, 110 client, whatever clients are there in development server or a quality server, or in production, not in production server, quality and development server. Clear? So initial level, just a naming convention, I'm giving this for our clarity, but definitely we will understand what exactly the client dependent, with examples I'll show you. But meanwhile, try to understand client dependent is nothing but, okay, this is 800 client, it will work. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Any questions? So again, I'll reiterate, if whatever configuration changes I am doing as a client dependent, then the configuration changes will be affected only in 800 client. Okay. And apart from that, we have other clients in development server, 600, 700, 800, 500, 400, 600. Then if we are doing few settings as a client independent, then that settings will be affected to other clients also. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So what is our company? So I'll give what is my client, who is my client. I'll give it as an Adani, correct? This is Adani Group, Adani Group company, Adani Group of companies, configuration settings. That's it. So whatever settings we are going to do, okay, so we need to see the description and we need to save under Adani Group of companies configuration settings. Just write it down. Okay, this naming convention. So normally different companies will follow the naming conventions in differently, but most of the companies, what I saw, they follow the configuration like this, which module we are doing, whether it's a client dependent setting or a client independent setting, and what is your client, who is your client, nothing but your customer. So according to that we will mention, and in real time also we won't do this. Your naming convention will be given by your project lead. Fine. So this is a common starting one. Any questions here? Any questions here? Yes, no?
So, but Naveen, actually, so
Sorry?
uh, while to be process created only, all these things get finalized, right? The name of the project and everything, what is
Exactly.
description we need to do.
In the initial level only.
Okay.
Because we will get the documentation. So according to that, we will give, it's not like every step we will go to a project lead and we won't ask.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So click on save button. Click on save button. So once we click on save button, automatically the system will generate the transport request number. So click on save button. Now you can see here FICO CD Adani Group of companies configuration settings. Now you can say we have not created this set number. Clear? So SR, you can write this particular number because in future we need to remember, according to description we will change it, but here you can see SR2 K900 191. It's automatically the system has generated the request number. Means whatever transactions, whatever configurations we are going to do, we are going to save in this particular transport request number. Just write it down, this request number, if possible. Okay, so click on OK button. Click on continue button. Click on continue button.
So even
Thank you.
when we are doing it real time enrollment environment, so that time also we save the request number.
Yes, yes. The transport request number will be created by system in real time or in training version. And we need to see here what happens, why I am asking you to note it down the request number, in the sense here majority people will work. Majority, your SAP provider will give the access to number of people, correct? But in real time, you will have in one particular server, you will have only one customer settings. So you need not to note it down, the request number. Got my point? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Right. In real time, you will have only one customer and it's his server, right? Whatever settings we are going to do, only we will do for that particular customer only, correct? So we need not to write down that request number or whatever it is. But why I'm asking you to now note it down here, because today I have created this particular and I have given the naming convention like my, and tomorrow's the same server, you are also taken the access and you have start creating your own requests, right? And you do, if you won't remember the naming convention and your transport request number, then whatever settings you are going to do, you will save in another person on another user settings, then that would be a problem while moving the transport request. Hope you got my point.
Sir, can you just clarify my doubt? Like when we are every time we make some changes, it creates a transport request, and whenever we go to the page, it asks for short description. So as long as we are under the same name of the company, do we still have to
See,
copy paste that? Sorry.
not required. See here, for example, I am changing one thing. If I click here, I'm doing this exchange, right? I'm removing it. So it will, if you are done your settings. So if you click on save button, then data was saved. Okay. For example, any other settings I'll do. Okay, if I'm trying to save here, normally it should ask. I'll show you one. See here, what happens is whenever we do a new setting, then what it will do, it will display whatever transport requests are there in the system. Whatever requests are there under the client 800, it will show all the client requests, right? So we need to select the whatever configuration we have done for which client, which customer we are doing, which transport request we are doing, in which transport request we want to save. So it will give you the number of list. Means you have created one transport request, I have created one transport request, and XYZ has created one transport request. So whenever I am doing my configuration, so it will show all the list, whoever are there, all the list it will show. So we need not to give every time description and everything. It will show you the list of transport requests. So out of that, we need to select which is ours, and we need to click on that. Then automatically whatever configurations we have done, that will be saved in that particular settings. You need not to give every time description. You need not to give every time transport request or something else. It will show you now the transport request, whatever description you have given, whatever request number it is got generated, it will be there in the system. So whenever you do this another configuration, whenever you want to save it, then it will show you the list, whatever there, the different transport requests. So out of that, we need to see which one is ours, right? Either with the transport, whatever description, or your transport request number. So then we need to select that and we need to save it. That's it. We need to say, okay. So you need not to give every time description and the request numbers. Only one request number. We need to save all the configuration steps. Did I answer your question?
I'm not 100% clear, but maybe hopefully we will be able to see this example
The next step
when we
I'll
go
show
as
you.
further.
The next step I'll show you
Okay,
that.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Next one, select. Next one. So now we need to see. So we have done for India. So what is our company? Where is in our company? What is our company is there exist in another country? US, right? We need to do the configuration
Yes.
for US. So press back button, deselect IN, deselect IN, deselect IN. Okay. Click on position button. Click on position button. Select US. Select US. Select US. Select US. What we need to do? Now again, press details button. Press details button. So already, even though it's US, hard currency is USD. Okay. So follow this. See here, you are not finding that exchange rate value and all those stuff. Currency, you remember? You are see here in this particular configuration, those fields are not available. So this is the standard how the things will be up here. The exchange rate, value or whatever country currency, that will not appear. So here you need to change the
So
procedure.
Naveen,
Yes, please.
is it not because like the currencies US and sorry countries US and currencies USD? That's why we are not getting the exchange rate column.
Nothing like that. Nothing as such. Nothing as such.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Once you open your server, you will understand that. Hope you got my point. It's a server to server. It's a different. In real time, you won't find that. That's what I want to say.
Understood.
Yeah, it's a need not to worry about those two fields actually. If you leave it blank also, it won't affect in our configuration step. Hope you got, if it is available also, you can leave those two fields blank, not an issue. What I'm saying, try to understand that. Your hard currency shouldn't be blank, your tax procedure shouldn't be blank, right? Your date format should be in proper way. That is the only thing we need to do here. Don't bother about those two fields. If it is available also, just leave it blank. Got my point? Reply, please.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, please.
So here tax procedure. So somebody has created the tax procedure. Except US tax procedure is tax US actually. Tax US. So here they have created a USJ. It is user defined. So go ahead. Tax US. So this USA, USJ, USX, these all are created which you want to find in real-time environment. This only you will find tax US. Tax US. Just write it down. Hard currency USD. Tax procedure US. Tax US. Assign tax procedure to tax US. And date format, as I said, it follows MMDDYY format. Date format, MMDDYY. MM/DD/YYY format. Just write down. Next one, decimal format. Same. So follow 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dot 8, 9. Okay. So with the settings, okay, with the settings, click on save button. Data was saved. Any questions on this? Any questions here?
No, no, these are good.
Okay. So this is about your country settings. Whatever may be the countries, you can define accordingly in the same way. Okay. That's it about your country. Now, next step, region settings. Right up. Second step, I have given everything here in the material. I'll share. Already I have shared till here. Next one, region settings. Next one, second step, region settings. Region settings. Put heading as a region settings. So insert regions. Insert regions. Path same as above. Path same as above. Means if you press back button, see here, insert region. insert region. In the same field, we have insert regions and transaction code OVK2. Transaction code OVK2. OVK2. Okay. So click on IMG activity button. So what I'll do is click on position button. I'll go for IN. I'm deleting. I'm going to delete a few. I'll show you how to create. Okay, it's not required in real time, but I'm showing you. For example, new status formed. Like in India, like Telangana is separated with Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh, right? So at that particular point of time, for example, people are using the old SAP. So as a consultant, we can create the regions also. So how? I'll show you that. So okay, click on position button. Click on position button. Select IN country. Click on position button. Select IN. Okay. I'll save it first because I have deleted two things. See here, when you click on, you have done the delete, right? You have done the deletion. So it will ask transport request number. So you have already noted down, right? SR2K90191 and the description Adani group of companies configuration settings, right? If you click, if it is something different, if something is different, here somebody has done, okay, then you can click on own request. In the own request, it will show different options, different folders, different transport requests. So out of this, which one is ours? Which one is ours?
Adani Group.
So we need to double click here. So automatically it will come Adani Group. For example, yours is Ultra. Then you can select implementation for Ultra, right? But it's not ours. Somebody has done immediate, like somebody has worked on Ultra, and whenever he saved, after that, whenever we start our configuration, not in real time, in practice environment, it will show the latest request number. That is, somebody has worked under Ultra, but we are working, our client is, our customer is Adani. Then what we need to do is we are not supposed to create again because already our request is created, right? So we need to click on own request, and we need to see there is a number of this one, the transport request will be there. We need to see which is our relevant transport request. So we need to select Adani Group. That's it. Say okay.
Naveen, regarding the transport request, I have one doubt. So it is basically created as per the module or as per the steps we are creating. We need to create it.
Normally, what we will do is first step, first configuration will be done by FICO consultant.
Okay.
The organizations, whatever maybe the module is there, the complete organization structure will be created by FICO consultant.
Okay.
Clear? And after that, consultant, other consultant will be pitching. So,
Okay.
but the first foundation steps will be created by FSU consultant.
Oh, okay.
So
And
that's
that
the
means
reason we are going.
entire implementation. Sorry.
So that's the reason we have mentioned FICO consultant. And in that only, what they will do is when we given to that request to our other consultant, what they will do is that they will make the transport request the same number, but they will change the description as an configuration steps or HRM configuration steps.
Okay.
They won't,
That
they
means
won't create another transport request. In that transport request only, they will change what we call module name.
okay.
Description.
That means entire in one project we will continue to hold the only one transport request,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
What is the
That
reason
makes
I'm saying is what, see again, we have, as I said, that client dependent, client independent settings. For few settings, we need to do client independent settings also. That I'll show you where we need automatically system will ask. Here, whatever request it is generated, that is a client dependent. And sometimes there is a workbench request. Automatically system will pop up. It's not a client dependent. Automatically, I'll show you because it's early to this. That's the reason I said we are going to do work on transport request once we complete FI part. Okay, system will pop up automatically. So normally what happens, we have a two request numbers. One is client dependent request number and client independent request numbers. So whatever changes we have, if it is related to client dependent, we will save in that request number. And if it is a client independent request, client independent setting, then we will save in client independent. So that what happens is if we are having a minimal numbers, so at the time of movement of data from one server to another server, it will be easy for us. If we are creating an n number of requests, then probably I said if we missed one request to move from development server to quality server or quality to production, then entire things will be get missed.
Yeah, got you, Navin. Thank you.
Clear? Any questions still here? Okay. So write down the path. So path same as above, or else you can write it down SPRO, SAP, write down the path, SAP reference IMG, SAP reference IMG, SAP NetWeaver, SAP NetWeaver, SAP NetWeaver, general settings, next one, set countries, insert regions, OVK2, insert regions, OVK2. Okay, so click on execute button, IMG activity button. We call it as an IMG activity button or execute button. So now click on position button, click on position button, click on position button. Okay. Okay, we have our company plants are there. One is in Telangana, the two are in Telangana, okay, and we have one in Guntur. Okay, so we need to create two regions here. One is Telangana region and one is Andhra region, and which is not there in the system. If I say IN, I have deleted. Okay, so here if you see here, we don't have Telangana. We don't have this, Telangana and Andhra. Andhra Pradesh is different, Andhra is different. Andhra Pradesh is nothing but United Andhra Pradesh. So one will be there as an Andhra Pradesh only by default. See here, Andhra Pradesh, which means nothing but it's a united one, but it is not our region now. We are no more using this Andhra Pradesh 01. So we need to create the regions. Okay, Telangana and Andhra. Okay. So here we don't have a Telangana state and Andhra. Okay. So click on new entries. Okay. So what are the other thing we have? See, for example, I'll tell you. So we have, see, we have regions, Telangana, we have a plants in Telangana, we have a plants in India, we have a plants in Andhra, we have a plants in Maharashtra. That is nothing but Mumbai. And one plant we have in California. That is nothing but in US. So here we can see SAP, these are the standard region codes. Clear? So as per that, the GST, whatever GST, CA tax procedure, taxes will be there as per this. So here Maharashtra 13, it's an old one. So it will not have any changes. You can see here 13 Maharashtra. See here. Write down 13 Maharashtra. Already we wrote it. 13 Maharashtra. It's a standard. All are standard. If any new region is created, clear, then we need to, as per their GST number, the region code will be created. As per the region code, the GST will be updated. Okay. So here it will be their standard, whatever states are there, it will be there, a standard will be there. So 13, Maharashtra. Okay, now click on new. So we don't have Telangana, right? So click on new entries. So I'm creating new state, that is nothing but Telangana. Okay, so click on new entries. So here you can give how to create a regions. I'm showing you IN India. So my region code is 36. Region code is 36 and description. So region code 36. So if it is already there, we need not to create it. Okay, if it's already there, we need not to create it. But I would like to show you how to create it a region or any other thing. In the same way, we need to create it. So country, IN, region 36, Telangana. Okay. Okay, click on save button. Okay, next one more. We will need to create one more also, right? Country, India, IN. Okay. So these are the prerequisites. Again, I'm telling you why I'm showing all this stuff, because these are the prerequisites to create any organization structure. We don't have a countries, we don't have a regions, then we can't create our organization structure. Okay, second one is Andhra. 37 for Andhra. These are the standard region codes. Andhra. Okay, press enter and click on save button. So now you can see the same. So whenever we do the changes, automatically it will ask for transport request, right? So we need to make sure that, see the description. If you don't remember the number also, see the description. Are we in the same transport or not, right? If you are in a different transport request, then you need to click on own requests to select your relevant request, right? So select it and click on OK button. Means whatever regions we have created, that will be stored under the same request number. Any questions here? Any questions here?
No,
No,
it's fine.
Navin.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So what we will do is, actually we are going down slow. Okay. Next setting we will see, and we will close it for today. Next one, third step, check currency codes. Third step, write down third step. Put a heading as in currency settings. Third step, currency settings. Or you can write it as an or check currency codes. Check currency codes. Write down the path. So why we are doing here, we are just checking whether the currencies are available or not. That's it. It will be there, standard SAP. But still, as I said, there will be a possibility at the time of giving a licenses, basis consultant might have done some changes. Okay, so it won't happen, but still, as a person, as a consultant, we need to make sure that these general settings are perfect or not. Clear? So that's the reason we are doing it. So next, write down general settings. Sorry, currency settings. Write down the path, SPRO, SAP NetWeaver, general settings, currencies, check currency codes. Check currency codes. Transaction code OY03. So check currency codes OY03. So click on press back button. Okay. What are the currencies we are going to select? Set currencies, check currencies. So what are the currencies we are going to see? We are going to work here. One is INR, one is USD, one is Euro, one is Great Britain pound, Singapore dollar, and Canadian dollar. So these are the 6 currencies we need to check whether is it available or not. Okay. Okay, total 6 currencies. Okay, so click on check currencies. Check currencies. So transaction code OY03. OY03. Fine. So click on position button. Click on position button. Click on position code. So give currency code INR. Okay. So your 2 columns are there, short text and ISO. What do you mean by ISO? Okay. It's an international standard organization. International standard organization. So here, what currencies are internationally the currency symbol are using? Okay, for all the countries, they formed one organization that is called ISO. We call it as an ISO. ISO is not Indian Standard Organization. It's an international standard organization. In this international standard organization only, the currency, the lead currency, whatever currency we are calculating everything, this particular organization will decide which currency to be the measured in all economic activities and all the receipts and payments. So this organization will check. So this has decided that USD would be the lead currency. Hope you got my point. Okay. And everything, the coding structure and everything. Okay. 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 So here it is INR. So for example, our country has decided our currency instead of INR, they want to change it. Okay. They have created some other currency code. Then what India will do is India will update the currency code to ISO, and what ISO will do is ISO will update, and that will circulate to entire across the globe, whatever countries are there. This particular currency code has been changed for India. Clear? And all the countries will update according to as per ISO instructions. So that is the role of ISO here. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So SAP also adopted, not only SAP, any other ERPs, those currency codes are adopted by those ISO currency codes are adopted by all the ERPs. And here SAP is also adopted the currency codes as per ISO codes, currency codes, the standard currency codes. So here we have total, normally 219 currency codes are there. 219 currency codes are there. Okay. First one, we have selected INR. Our currency is INR. Okay. And we can click on details button. No need to change here something. Indian rupee, INR, and this is the alternative key. So this is SAP provided standard, so we need not to worry about it. As I said that these are things will be taken care by ISO. So we need not to worry about it. Just follow as it is. What we need to see whether this INR is there or not. That's it. Next one, unchecked INR. What is our second currency? What is our second currency?
USD.
USD. So
USD.
click on position button. USD. So here in USD, you can see here Just write it down. American dollar. Okay. So it is already available. So if you click on details button, you can check it. Next one. What is the other currency we have? Euro. So just we are checking it as a consultant. Euro. This is euro. Okay. So euro. Next one. Check it out. Sorry. GBP. Click on GBP. GBP. British pound. It is also there. Next, what we need to select? What we need to check? SGD. SG. So it is there. It is there. And next one, CAD currency, Canadian dollar. So just we are doing the verification.
Basically, wherever we are operating, right?
1 second.
We are exporting.
Sorry.
We are checking the currencies of the countries wherever we are working, right?
We are working and same time the client, we in the sense client, what are the imports and exports the client is doing, right? So those currencies are available or not, we are checking. That's it. Got my point? Here we are operating from two different countries only. One is in India and in US. But why we are taking Euro, GBP and all those countries in the science? So our client, our customer is doing import and exports for different countries. So he will give the list at the time of discussion, right? So what are the currencies? He will do import and he will do export. So we need to check, we need to verify those currencies are available in SAP system or not. As per his past history, he will come to know my client, my suppliers are there in UK, my suppliers are there in Canada, my suppliers are there in Australia, right? And same time, my customers are there in Singapore, my customers are there in Pakistan, Bangladesh, or somewhere around. So according to that particular statement, we need to check whether all those currencies are available in the system or not. Hope you got my point. Why I'm taking this for?
Yes.
These are not standard. What these two are standard. Local currency and group currency are standard. Hard currencies are standard. But these currency settings, why we need to check? Because our client is doing transactions with these countries, with this in these currencies. He may have more than that. He may have less than that. Right. So at the time of discussion only, we will come to know what currencies he is dealing in. What are the different currencies? Is that fine? Yes.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
So that's it about your currency settings. And tomorrow we will see our calendar part. Tomorrow we will see our calendar part. Once we are done with the calendar, maintain calendar, then we are going to start up with the enterprise structure part tomorrow session. In tomorrow's session, calendar we will see in 2 minutes. And once we are done with that, we will start up with our organization structure, the company creation and all those stuff. Any questions before we call it off for today? I need to share the recordings of day before yesterday's and today's. I'll share all together. But one request, again, I am reiterating one and all, please try to attend sessions on a regular basis. Don't depend on recordings. Probably in future, I may not share on time the recordings part. Wantedly, that is also because people are missing the sessions because we have a recordings part. Clear? I don't want to do that. And same time, again, I'm telling you, along with me, parallelly, try to practice it. Try to practice. Again, I'm telling you, practice means it doesn't mean that you're creating. We are doing one step today, and you are doing in the same only one step. No, try to do it 20 times. So once we complete the entire organization structure, you should complete end to end. At least I am creating one company with 3 different company codes, correct? So once we complete everything, by that time, you need to create 20-25 companies into 3 different company codes. Then only we will be on the same page. Means the level of knowledge, whatever I am having, you will get the same knowledge if you practice in such a way. It doesn't mean that you have created for only once and you say that I am done my practice. No, it's not correct. If you remember everything end to end, then it is considered as in you are doing practice perfectly. But it doesn't mean that you are creating only one company and you are following the same recording, same notes, and that is not considered as in practicing. That is considered as a data entry work. That's not a practice. That's a data entry work. But when it is considered as a practice in the sense, if you are able to do without any recording help, without any what we call notes help, if you are able to do all the configuration independently without dependent on anything, then that is nothing but you are doing a perfect practice. And you can able to explain others. If someone have a questions, what is the configuration step, what is the navigation path, what is the transaction code for this, what is the step we need to do it, then it is considered as you are on page. But don't say that you are just doing a data entry work, and at the end, whenever we are asking, right, whenever we are asking, people say that okay, one time they will do the data entry and they say that yes, I'm doing the practice along with you. But it's not, I'm not asking to do the data entry, I'm asking to practice. Practice means perfection. Perfection means you are in a position to explain anyone what kind of configuration you are doing without looking at your recording, without looking at your material, without looking at your notes. By hook or crook, take the time and do it. And one more request, what I want to do is, whenever we don't have a class, again, I'm telling you, whenever we don't have a class, so because you have dedicatedly given this particular 1 hour for this class, right? So that particular time, if we don't have a class, unfortunately or fortunately, right? So don't leave that. Try to utilize it for your practice, that 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes. Clear? As long as our sessions are increasing, the time will get increased. Our time will get increased. So again, heads up, if we don't have a session, try to keep it for a practice. You can log in, you can form a group, right? And you can discuss and your queries. Yesterday I told you, right? First, don't depend on, if at all, if you get any issues, don't depend on your faculty or whoever it is. First, read the description. What is the error message you are getting? Read it completely. Second part, if you are not able to understand, then same error you can put in your Google it, right? Third, ask your fellow colleagues, right? And after that, reach out. Is it clear? Again and again, I'm telling you, without practice, it's impossible to do it. Without practice, again, I'm telling, data entry, practice. Only 2 things are there here: data entry and practice. Practice means getting a perfection. Data entry is nothing but we won't get it. Looking at the recording, we will type it, we will type it, we will type. And in future also, wantedly, I won't share at least few recordings. I'll share once in a week. Initial level, it's new. You people are new for this things, so I'll share on a daily basis. Hope you got my point.
Yeah, Naveen.
Yeah, that's true, Naveen, actually. So
Don't
your
take me
suggestions
wrong,
are valuable.
because
Yeah.
because normally we people are fully occupied with our own activities. So you people are giving a dedicated time, this particular 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes time only for this. So when, again, I'm reiterating, when, or else you can spare Saturday, Sunday, the same 1 hour for your practice. Whatever 6:45 IST, you can sit and practice it. And whenever we don't have a class, you can log in. You can log in into Zoom and you can form a group and you can start the discussion part and explanation part. That will not be an issue. Only that way we can learn, or else we can't. Because now already this particular batch strength is almost all 18. Almost all 18. So we have not completed much session, hardly 15 sessions we have completed. Okay. So initial level, again and again, I'm reiterating, we will go very slow. because everybody, you understood, right? Each and every step, how important and how to understand this thing. Once you are like coming into my page, automatically we can rush it, not an issue. But rushing and completion, it's not our task. Our task is, you people need to understand, you people need to explain someone clearly. That is the major motive. Completion in the sense, see, these are not required to show. So directly I can start from here. From past 20 days, we are spending time only on literature part, which is not required at all in real time, means practical part. So they will start directly with enterprise structure. But here, the background, you need to know what exactly, what happening, what is R1, R2, R3. Hope you got my point. So again, people, we can see the dropping of people in future. Now 9 people are there. And in future, it's going to be drop more and more. Why? Because people won't practice. They know they are going to get our recordings. However, they can follow recordings. And they won't do that also, again, I'm telling you. And some people think that whenever I'll ask the people, so what they will say is, first you complete it, then we will start practice, which is not going to be happened. Again, I'm telling you, which is not going to be happen. After completion, if you want to practice, it's not going to happen. By hook or crook, you need to take time, you need to practice. If you want to see this particular environment, you want to, and there are ample of opportunities, ample of spaces there. Hope you got my point. So that is the reason next batch people not coming next. The other next batch people, I vividly remember that I have creating one template that the people who are attending the sessions, they need to attend on a regular basis. They need to practice on a regular basis. So it should be a kind of schooling. Again, I'm telling you, because here what happens is word of mouth, it will spread. They won't practice, they won't attend regularly, but word of mouth, it will spread. What it will spread is, this person is taking a too much period, 9 months period, and we didn't get any sort of knowledge, we didn't get any jobs. That is going, negativity will spread easily. It is happening right now. Okay, so to control that from very next batches, what I am doing is I'm checking the practice also. So probably I'll give from by charging, by taking the charges, I am going to give the server access, and definitely I'll check the people are practicing or not. Don't take me wrong, I'm going to check it, because normally I don't mind but to lose the students or whoever it is, to losing it, because it's not a commercial part. Okay, yes, it's a commercial only. Commercial plays a vital role, but same time, I need the productive students. Hope you got me. So the people who are not practicing it, definitely I won't refund the fee also. I'll terminate them from the sessions also. Till now, I was not completely into professional part, but I understood what is the negativity is getting updated. So that is the reason. It's not a GAN session, don't take me wrong, but just I'm updating you. Okay.
No, Naveen, actually, so you are giving end-to-end, I mean, point-to-point explanation that will help us to understand more. And when we are doing practice, we maybe follow one method, but you are explaining everything. That's a good sign, and you may take more days. But the thing is, like, you are giving end-to-end input now, so that is necessary for to understand this one.
Yeah, even
And
you
as you
can see
mentioned,
the
like,
academics
practice is
also.
necessary.
You can see the academics also. We are covering academics also from scratch. Again, I'm telling you. So probably tomorrow session, I'll start with the accounting before going to enterprise structure, right? So we will see the basic journal entries also, because which is not relevant to our scope, which is not required to explain that particular part, the entries and all those stuff. So we are going to cover that also. Thanks all. See you in tomorrow's session.
Thank you, thanks.
Thank you,
Naveen.
Naveen.
Thank you.
Naveen, I need to talk to you. Do you have a
Yes,
time?
please. Who's this?
Hitesh.
Yeah, Hitesh. I'll just pause the